Hello everyone and welcome to Disney Decades. I'm your host, Nick LoCicero. In Disney Decades, I'm going to read about an event that happened in Disney Parks history, and you have to guess what year that event occurred. But there's a twist. In front of you, you should have a board with the dates 1950 through 2020. This is called the Time Wheel. You also have a set of 7 game pieces called Time Windows. If you don't yet have your Time Wheel and Time Windows, please pause this video and visit www.nt.com/DisneyDecades to download the game for free. Now, each time window is large enough to cover a series of years from 1 to 7. If you're really sure about a date, use a smaller time window. If you aren't too sure, use one of your larger time windows to cover more years. Once you use a time window, set it aside. It is no longer available for you to use. I have 15 events, and if you run out of time windows before I run out of events, you win. You'll have 20 seconds after I read an event to place your time window. If you need more time, just pause the video. No one's looking. It's now time to play Disney Decades. Have fun. Good luck. Here is event number 1. Up. A Great Bird Adventure debuts at Disney's Animal Kingdom. What year did Up, A Great Bird Adventure debut at Disney's Animal Kingdom? One of my favorite movies, not one of my favorite attractions. What year did it debut at the park? Time is almost up, and the year was 2018. 2018. All right. Let's move on to event number 2. Modern Marvels airs the episode Walt Disney World on the History Channel. What year did that happen? The Modern Marvels episode where they explored Walt Disney World. It was a good one. It's available on YouTube. Go check it out. I highly recommend it. It's a nice step back in time, but how far back in time? All right, time is up on this one. The year was 2005. 2005. They actually talk about the Yeti that is being built in Everest and say it's amazing. Can't wait to show it to you. Yeah, we know how that worked out for everybody. All right, event number 3. King Stephen's Banquet Hall, a restaurant inside the Magic Kingdom Cinderella Castle, is renamed Cinderella's Royal Table. What year was King Stephen's Banquet Hall renamed Cinderella's Royal Table? What year did that happen? I just recently cooked some food from King Stephen's Banquet Hall out of an old Disney World cookbook. It's pretty good. All right, your time is up on this one. The year was 1997. 97. All right, 3 events down. Got 12 more to go. Hope you're off to a good start. Here is event number 4. Surprise Celebration Parade debuts at Magic Kingdom. What year was the Surprise Celebration Parade debuting at the Magic Kingdom? This one actually reused floats from the Mardi Gras parade over at Disneyland. Kind of had that Mardi Gras carnival feeling to it. What year did that parade debut? All right, time's up. The year, 1991. 91. All right, on to event number 5. The inaugural game of the NHL's Mighty Ducks is played at the Anaheim Pond. A few years later, guests would be able to play Mighty Ducks Pinball Slam at Disney Quest. I've been to a couple Mighty Ducks games, actually. I don't think Disney owned them at the time that I went to the games, but I've been to a few of them. And I definitely played Pinball Slam at Disney Quest. But what year did they debut in the NHL? And time is up. The year was 1993. 93. They lost to the Red Wings in that game. All right, on to event number 6. Pinocchio's Daring Journey opens in Fantasyland at Disneyland. What year did Pinocchio's Daring Journey open in Fantasyland at Disneyland? I really have to say this is one of my favorite Fantasyland dark rides ever. I love that one. Every time I go to Disneyland, it's a must-do for me. What year did it open? And time is up. The year was 1983. 83. Event number 7. Here we go. Cinderella Castle Mystery Tour opens in Fantasyland at Tokyo Disneyland. What year did the Cinderella Castle Mystery Tour open in Fantasyland at Tokyo Disneyland? This one's a trip. Unfortunately, I've never been to Tokyo Disneyland. I would have loved to see this attraction. It looks very scary, very weird. Has the Horn King from Black Cauldron in it. Crazy. And time is up on this question. It is 1986. The year was 1986. It's no longer around. All right, we're about halfway through here. Hopefully you got rid of some of those time windows. If you didn't get rid of any of them yet, don't worry. You could still do it. You can still do it. Time's running out. Here is event number 8. If You Had Wings opens in Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom. What year did If You Had Wings open in Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom? Fun attraction, great theme song. I know a lot of people like Built the Dream Flight, which came right after it. But I liked If You Had Wings. What year did it open? And time is up. It opened 1 year after the Magic Kingdom opened, 1972. 72. All right, on to event number 9. It's a Small World opens at Disneyland. What year did that famous attraction open at Disneyland? A little hint for you, it actually debuted a little bit earlier at the New York World's Fair. What year did it actually open at Disneyland? And time is almost up on this one. All right, 1966. So 2 years after the New York's World's Fair, it opened at Disneyland. All right, just a few more events to go. If you still have all 7 time windows left, well, you're a little out of luck in this game. But here we go. Let's see how you do. Event number 10. The 100 millionth guest is welcomed at Disneyland. The 100 millionth guest is welcomed at Disneyland. Probably not a fact you have off the top of your head. Probably hard to factor out if you don't know it, but it is a famous year in Disney park history, so it coincides with something else. Little hint. All right, and time is up. 1971, so the same year the Magic Kingdom opened. All right, 5 events left. Here is event number 11. Reflections of China opens in the China Pavilion at Epcot. What year did Reflections of China open in the China Pavilion at Epcot? Maybe it's a trick question. Maybe it opened with the pavilion. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it opened years later. It's up for you to decide and put down that time window. And just a few seconds left on this one, and time is up. The year was 2003. So many years after it opened, the pavilion opened, that film was put in. All right, here we go. Event number 12, Lights, Motors, Action Extreme Stunt Show has its final performance at Disney's Hollywood Studios. When did Lights, Motors, Action Extreme Stunt Show have its final performance at Disney's Hollywood Studios? And I have to say, as much as I love Herbie the Love Bug, I did love when they put Lightning McQueen and the Cars characters into that show. It was a fun one. It was a good one. I was there that day that it closed, and that year was 2016. 2016. All right. We have 3 events left. How you doing out there? got 1 or 2 time windows left, you still might make it. Here we go. The last few events. Number 13. The Walt Disney Story opens at Disneyland. The Walt Disney Story opens at Disneyland. This actually opened in the Disney Opera House Theater there on Main Street. It replaced Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. And a lot of people weren't happy with that, so it didn't last that long there, and they eventually reverted back to Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Well, the Walt Disney Story opened at Disneyland in 1973. 73. All right, 2 events left. Here's number 14. Disney legend Walter Broggie is promoted to head of the Disney Studios machine shop. Hard one for you. What year was Disney legend Walter Broggie promoted to head of the Disney Studios machine shop? I read on D23 he's considered like one of the original Imagineer that Walt Disney had at the studios there. What year was he promoted? 1950. The year was 1950. All right, we have 1 event left. Just 1. Hopefully you get it, and maybe you get rid of all your time windows here on this very last event. Let's go. Event number 15. Tower of Terror opens in the American waterfront at Tokyo Disney Sea. What year did Tower of Terror open in the American waterfront at Tokyo Disney Sea? Very different storyline than the Walt Disney World version of Tower of Terror. They didn't have the Twilight Zone theme. Looking forward to riding it one day. What year did it open? All right, time's up. The year was 2006. 2006. All right. How'd you do this time? Did you get rid of every single one of your time windows? Hopefully you did good. Hopefully you did good out there. Comment on this video. Let us know how you did. Let us know about the different questions, which ones you found fun, which ones you found too easy, too hard. Let us know how we're doing here. And we really appreciate you checking out this episode of Disney Decades. We come out with an episode each and every week, so there's plenty of episodes for you to test your Disney trivia knowledge with. Well, that's it for this edition of Disney Decades. I'll see you next time.